people, Deluded, I'm back again.
Come on, Ian. Come on.
Ian said it right there. Arteta's put the handbrake down. Eze and Odegaard are doing what they're doing. Have we got the best squad in the world? We're going to talk about this. But before we get into that, unlike her and her platform, I'm actually a nice guy. Jess, how are you doing? Welcome. Subscribe to her platform if you haven't. Go ahead.
Well, why would they subscribe to my platform if you're dissing it all the time?
I'm not dissing your platform. She knows Arsenal. You're rude to me. Your platform is great. Your opinions are great.
That's not the way you greet someone. But I am well.
Okay. Hello, Jess. Is that enough? Is that enough? I know Martinelli forward, but chill out, tranquilo, chill out.
You're living on that, aren't you?
I'm not. Every week I'm here speaking about stuff, man. Like, how's Kivio getting on in Porto? Are you watching him?
No, I'm not. I'm not watching Kivio at Porto.
Fair play. Let's kick it off like this then. First question I want to ask you: do we have the best squad in the world? Purely because you're seeing the depth, you know who we've got in our team. I'm sure you, like everybody, we obviously watched the game and it panned to the bench and then it panned to the players that are injured. So, where Europe's concerned, for you, have we got the best squad in the world?
I don't like this question. I feel like
I know. Honestly, I was told to ask it earlier to you.
I don't know. I feel like I don't know. I think this is the best squad that we've had in the Emirates era. I'll say that.
Completely sidestepped the question.
I did. I sidestepped it because I don't know. I mean, on paper, probably, yeah. So yeah, I feel like maybe some teams have some higher ceilings with their players. Like their players are like a little bit better than our top end players here and there, but
player for player, position for position, depth, numbers, bodies,
probably depth
dropping off.
Depth probably, yeah, for sure. Depth, yeah. I think we're in a really good place. We're definitely in that like 2 players in every position place that we've been talking about for a long time. So yeah, I think the squad is excellent and ready to compete for sure.
Fair enough. So then my next question is a question that obviously you're not Andrea, but it's not the transfer window. It's not January. It's not even the summer of 2026. But a part of me asking you that was to ask you this. Obviously, you know yourself, we're not going to go and sign 8 players every summer. We don't necessarily need to. People come and leave all the time. But like, if we were to improve this squad, like or the 11, if you will, like what positions would you go for? What sort of profiles? Like if you were the one that made the difference in that regard?
Yeah, I feel like I still feel like I would want to bring in a left wing.
Facts.
I feel like that's still something that we kind of maybe missed out on. That's probably like the main thing. For the most part, I'm pretty happy with everything that we have. Maybe a more traditional fullback. I really like the look of that El Hadji Diouf at West Ham. I think that that'd be a fun player to have in your team, just to like get the ball to and do the overlap and put in like a 6.
Can he invert?
I don't want you to invert. I want you to do regular stuff, but I would say that's probably like the only thing. I'm assuming that Gyokeres will rise, if that were not to happen, then I guess, I think it depends on, what happens with Kai and Jesus as well, because if Jesus/Kai leave, then you would want to replace that profile as well. Because I think that that's important to have somebody else that can play in the 9 position, but offers you creativity. So maybe that, but they're still here. So probably just left wing I'm looking at. And yeah, there's maybe one player that I would think I was really wrong about Semenyo.
What was we talking about earlier, people? You see the word, the name, sorry, she said there. Go on, Jess.
Yeah,
what was we talking about
I think I was wrong about Semenyo. I thought that he was just good because Bournemouth were good for like that season, but I could see what you guys see in Semenyo like now more than before, and he'd be fun on the team. I like the look of him more layout. I feel like he's on like a every week basis. I feel like
I think you're cracking up, Jess. I think you're cracking up. I don't think we caught a word of what you're saying. Is it me or is it just people? Am I good? Because Jess is all pixelated on my and Neil said it's just though. I think something's going on. You're breaking up, yeah. We didn't catch it. If you can hear us, I don't. You're still cracked
I
up, but
can hear you. Am I back? Am I
nah,
back?
nah.
No?
You might have to refresh your browser still.
Okay.
I didn't catch what you said. Did anyone? Yeah, people will get her back on that. We'll get her back. Technical difficulties. See what happens when you hate on Martinelli. No, I'm playing. Jess is a good sport, man. Takes the banner on the chin. Make sure to subscribe to She Knows Arsenal. Does great work. I was watching, better yet, listening because I was in the gym earlier today to her posts. She does like the match reaction live, like so post match reaction. Quite good, quite decent, man. Quite decent. Very good stuff. Very good stuff. Very good stuff. As Neil said, smash the like button. She'll be back in a minute, man. The gal had some difficulties. Maybe I'm just bad luck with these collabs because, well, to be fair, big up a gal's kids. He said they hit the Wi-Fi button, but get the point, man. Free balling. Appreciate you for becoming a member. Any questions, all that stuff, people, just type them in. We'll get through them and things of that. It'll big up yourself, Kwame. You're always here. Don't think you lot that are always here. Neil, my mods, my members, it's always appreciated, man. It big up you lot. Without you lot, the platform's dead. Anyone that's ever sent a damn super chat, anyone that's ever been a member, anyone who's watched one video or a million, yeah. Olympiacos was not a walkover. They're not a shit side. They're not a shit side. They're a good side. Obviously, they've got a decent record against us. That's why for me, I was a bit nervy going into the game. If I'm honest with you, I was thinking, ooh, what's going on? Side note, yeah, I beg one of you comment what the point Jess was making about left wing as well, so we don't lose that when she's back. But if I'm honest, we drew ourselves out. I like, if we look at the first 5, 6, 7 games, so like 5 in the Premier League, Port, Vale, and who do we play first in the champs? Whoever we played first in the champions, Bilbao. So isolate them games, yeah, and then isolate on that side them games, and then put Newcastle and Olympiacos on this side for me, yeah. Last season, pre-season, the games I told you to isolate. Obviously, the players are the ones playing, but I was more of the belief of, what, Mikel Arteta is not doing what he needs to do. He needs to, put the handbrake down and things like that. The last 2 games, I think he has done that. I think we have attacked. It's more on the players haven't finished their dinner. And for me, that was there against Olympiacos. We should have killed the game in the first half. 1-0's a nervy one. That's why I understand Timber, Eze, Saka, all these guys getting drawn in. But yeah, man, we'll leave that for a sec. Jesse's back. Is she all right? Yeah, you're back. You're back. He was making a point about Semenyo, I believe. Someone said
I
you
could
said
just
you
see
was
him.
wrong about Semenyo or something.
I was definitely wrong about him for sure. So yeah, I would like to see somebody like that in the team for sure.
I don't know about Mbuemo. I don't know what Jess. I've never seen Jess talk about
No,
Mbuemo.
Mbuemo is in the exact same situation that everybody good has when they go to Man United. I'm so sorry. Yeah, not trying to hear all that. I love Mbuemo. I think he's a good player.
For me, I'm a bit different. I think we need 3 players. I think you're right on one thing in that squads are always changing. Like you never know, Merino, Martinelli, Kai Havertz, Trossard, them kind of players. They're maybe even Norgard in 12 to 18 months. Those players are subject to speculation, innit? But apart from that, assuming everybody stayed together, I agree with you. Left wing for me, whether that's Semenyo, whether that's Rodrigo, whether that's a random Joe Blogs, fair play. I would like a backup forward. I know Kai and Merino can play up there, but if we could get a young rotationary guy, maybe with like a Hugo Ekitike kind of DNA, if that makes sense. Very different to Gyokeres, that's cool. And for me, centre mid, like I would say centre mid. I think if we could get 8, like a Rangers, then I think we're sorted. I actually genuinely think we're sorted. I think
why can't Miles Lewis-Skelly be that player?
I'd love it to be the case, but are you seeing him play in midfield? You never know, but are you, unless Arteta plays him there, and you see him as like a Santi assess. Obviously, he's got qualities, but I more want that kind of midfield, like for like. But you're right, Lewis-Skelly could play in midfield. Would love to see Lewis-Skelly in midfield, but Arteta is different to me and you, and that probably means Rice or Zubi dropping out, man. But yeah, it is what it is. Any questions, get them in. So yeah, we've gone over the squad. We've gone over, side note, just me being selfish and just asking you how we improve this. Let's talk about the handbrake, because me and you have been quite aligned in this, and we've got on to Mikel Arteta, rightly so, off the back of last season, off the back of pre-season. I think all the games prior, personally, to Newcastle and Olympiacos last night. What do you think he's truly put the handbrake down? Do you think it's here to stay? What's all your thoughts in terms of the attacking play? And like Newcastle, probably the best example.
I love, I'm petty, so I love the fact that I don't want to say the reason why we were so much better against Newcastle was because he put Eze instead of Merino, but I'm going to say that the reason why we were so good against Newcastle was because it was Eze and not Merino. I just think that, like, you know, there's so many people that were acting like the way that we were playing. It's not even about aesthetics. It's more about efficiency and effectiveness. And I feel like the way that we were playing prior to was just maybe like 5% away from where we needed to be. Being more attacking doesn't necessarily mean that your defensive principles go out the window. And I feel like people were defending this a little bit too much when it's just like he just needs to relax a little bit. He doesn't need to throw it all
Overcomplicating things.
away. Exactly. And I think him putting a lot of trust in Eze against Newcastle was big, because he had went so hard for Merino in that press conference, and he went with Eze instead, and I think he was rewarded for it. I think going with Eze against Newcastle, it showed that you could play with a more traditional number 10, drop Rice back, play with more of a traditional double pivot, and it works. The only reason why we didn't score in that first half was because Nick Pope decided to be Manuel Neuer on the day. That was it. And
Maybe
I think
Tuchel was watching.
and Tuchel was watching. And so it was just one of those things where I felt like that felt so much more like a dominant performance, not us just they score and then we're just doing the horseshoe of death. We're actually trying to do things. And the response to it, I feel like, was so much more positive. I feel like even if we had drawn that game, I was going to go I was going to go into my post-match feeling like I know we tried something different, and I know it'll reap rewards, even if it didn't in this game, and we ended up getting the win. So, yeah, I think in the last 2 games, you could see a distinct difference in what we're trying to do, accessing central spaces, creating chances from open play, creating like clear-cut chances that you could see. They're not half chances. And we even saw it against Olympiacos. Now, Olympiacos not great competition, but even without Eze and with a different midfield, we saw those same principles because even Odegaard was more central than he usually is. He wasn't like tied to the right touch line. Like, he was central, and we should just keep that as long as we possibly can. I know that there'll be different types of opposition, probably West Ham at the weekend, that are going to try to do the low block, but we have to have more creativity out there. We need to try to access central spaces. We need to have more ways of trying to break down teams than just crossing. But we'll see how it goes. I don't know if it'll stay forever. I think Arteta tends to, when he's under pressure, go back to what he knows, and what he knows is being defensive and pragmatic. So we'll see if the pressure is on, if he sticks with a more adventurous style. But if he can't see how much better this is, then I don't know, because I just enjoyed watching us play so much more in the last 2 games than prior to, you know?
I don't think you're lying, man. I think, and me and you have said it before, like, we got time for everything Arteta does in the defense, like everything
100%.
around defense, in wasting time, everything he does. But we've called for attack being a form of defense, and he done that, and things of that ilk. So that leads me to ask you, purely based on these last 2 games, because I'm very critical of Arteta, but you can, normally I think you've been crippling the team. You've coached players, getting them in attacking roles. As you said, Odegaard's playing a bit differently. The players are pairing. We're creating several chances, but do we have a chance conversion issue now? Because we're creating them, and there was a million chances against Newcastle. It could have went left. I feel Olympiacos, we should have scored a lot, definitely in the second half. You look at Trossard, it felt like there was 3 opportunities in quick succession for Trossard. So is it like, do we have a problem converting? And we'll get on to Gyokeres, obviously, but have we got a chance conversion issue now?
I think, like, to be honest, the players that we have always had that problem. The original group of people, Trossard, Odegaard, Saka, Martinelli, these people, like Kai, whenever he comes back in, they tend to be the types of players that need more chances because they're going to miss quite a few. The only player that I'm more surprised about is Gyokeres, because he doesn't really fit that mold. So this is why I'm like a big advocate for us being more attacking and trying to create more chances, because I know these players are not 1 chance, 1 goals type. That's not who they are. They need like 3 chances. That's just how they are, and that is what it is. But probably Gyokeres is the only one that doesn't sit in that category. So I'm wondering if there's something else going on with him. But I feel like we've always kind of been like that. It's rare that we have one chance and we just put it in the back of the net. We need a couple. So yeah, this team has to, with the attackers that we have, to create ad nauseum to get them enough chances to miss the couple that they're going to. But they need to just kick the ball in the back of the net. I mean, I know it sounds so simple, but I feel like they're trying to place it too much. They're trying to be too cutesy. Sometimes just kick it as hard as you can and see if it goes in the back of the net. What Saka did was take advantage of a really bad goalkeeper. Sometimes if you just kick it hard enough on frame, it'll go
I was
in.
surprised Odegaard didn't back, I must admit.
I wasn't, because he does this. He does this like he
Yeah,
wants
but I
to
mean,
place
like,
it
you're
so
right,
bad.
yeah.
He wants to play it so place it so badly, and I'm like, just kick it as hard as you can. Like, you're right there, you know? So I feel like they do a little bit of too much of wanting to pass it into the net, keep it cutesy, just kick it, you know? But yeah, I liked what I saw. I love the freer version of all of our players, not just Odegaard. But I'm still waiting to see. I want to see what we're going to do against West Ham, because there's an opportunity for Arteta to do something very interesting. He could get Eze and Odegaard out there at once, and I'd like to see it. This Saka, Eze, Odegaard.
Can you get Nwaneri in the mix?
Listen, I think the interesting thing about I keep seeing people say like, oh, Odegaard is scared for his spot, so that's why he's playing well. I regret to inform you guys, his spot was never under threat. I really
Surely there's got to be a bit of fear though from Odegaard. I know what you're saying. He's captain. He's always going to play. I'm with you, but surely though,
whatsoever.
Surely don't just you got Eze over there, like everybody's waxing Liverpool.
Listen,
surely
I think Odegaard had one bad season and people overreacted.
100%.
But at the same time, like, I think people were thinking that, like, okay, if we bring in Eze, Eze will kick Odegaard out the team, and then it'll be Eze and Ethan. But I don't think they realized that the repercussion of Eze playing in midfield was not going to be that Odegaard was going to lose his spot. It was going to be that Ethan loses his spot. And so now Ethan is on the outside looking in, not making game day squads. And that's, to me, that's frustrating, just because I think Ethan is fantastic, but, you know, he's kind of on the outskirts here a little bit now in the last couple of games. And people are like, oh, Arteta hates Ethan. No, he doesn't hate Ethan. It's just
courses for courses.
Yeah, he has Eze now. Eze has played in midfield. So now he's a genuine option there.
And like you said earlier, you still have Merino, which that's his baby in the 10 or 8.5.
Yeah. So that's when people were like, oh, well, if Eze plays in midfield and that's it for Odegaard, I was like, looking a little for Ethan, you know, so we'll see how that unfolds.
And then you got Havertz coming back.
Yeah, you have Havertz coming back as well. And Madueke at some point as well. I just think that, you know, we're going to need a full squad and Ethan will get his time and all of that. But people were, Odegaard is not going to like not be in this team now. So now we should be looking at how we could get both him and Eze in the team at once and actually have multiple creative options in the team for once, because it felt like for a while it was like one person. I just think, like, I mean, there's several ways that you could do it, but I think the most realistic will be Eze at left wing and Odegaard in his natural position.
That's what I think will happen against West Ham on Saturday.
Yeah, I think that will be the most, you know, and then now we've seen how, I don't want to say useful because I feel like that's not the proper word, but how dangerous Martinelli is in those like kind of Martinelli in the I don't want to call it the bench role, but like the coming off the bench.
He started and scored yesterday. Buy your stocks. It's not too late. Just I beg you, buy some stocks.
He did start, but he's not going to start in Saka's position. We know what the deal is, right? So
honestly, I think that goal he scored yesterday is goal of the season.
I'm sure you do. I'm sure you do. Yeah, I'm sure you do. So yeah,
there's some point. Go on, because there's some points you said that I kind of want to like zoom in
go
on.
ahead. Go ahead.
No, the first thing, because I want to speak about Eze Ødegaard and Nwaneri and all those things, but I want to focus on this captaincy. I mean, well, the captain, because all of a sudden, I'm not going to ask Jess this, but I just think it's funny. You can say it's Olympiacos, but it's Champions League. You want your captain to stand up to be counted. We got 6 points on the board. I don't know if this little armband, if it played any part for all the talk around Odegaard. But like for you, like, do you think Odegaard's back? Like, where are you at with Odegaard specifically? Because me and you you probably get accused of it on your platform as well, of being an Odegaard apologist, and he can do no wrong and all of these things. I get the same. So when he's back, we need to have conversations with some of you lot in the chat. So like for Odegaard specifically, he had, a good cameo against Newcastle, did well yesterday. We hope it continues against West Ham. Is he back for you, or like what's all your Odegaard thoughts?
Personally, I thought that even in preseason, I saw a better version of him in terms of his intention. Like his execution of things weren't perfect, but he was trying to do the right things. And I was like, okay, he, like everyone else, is not up to peak fitness because obviously it's preseason. But I kind of felt like people were looking for any indication that he wasn't good so that they could just be like, oh, well, it's over. But I never really felt that way. But then also I'm incredibly biased towards this player because I think he's so good. So maybe I wasn't seeing it clearly. But I think the first thing I look for when I'm watching Odegaard play to see what we're going to get from him is where's he at physically? Is he riding challenges? Is he able to win the ball off of people? Is he able to physically influence the game, not just on the ball, but like actually like...
it pisses me off in 50-50s, but go on.
No, I get you. Because I think people feel like he pulls out of 50-50s. I feel like that's something that I hear quite a bit, right? But I think even you saw yesterday that he was not getting like pushed off of the ball and things like that. I feel like that's for me, that's an initial sign that he's fit. And then he just gets he has a way of moving that shows you that he's confident, which probably means that he's fit. And you could see it instantly when he was getting on the ball against Olympiacos, getting onto it, showing his influence. Odegaard, when we're playing good and Odegaard is out there, he gets on the ball a lot. And I think he got on the ball a lot yesterday. So I don't know. I think
especially on the left-hand side.
100%. I think when he's trying things and he's not playing it as safe and he's able to ride challenges and he has the pep in his step, you can tell that he's ready to go. Now, is he back? Is he back? Is he back? To me, it was never in doubt. I think he's back. But I mean, some people are going to need to see more than that. And that's okay, because he was, for a long time, he was out and he wasn't as good as he should have been. But I just, the form is temporary, class is permanent. Like, I feel like he falls in that category. I just was so surprised at how much of a rewriting of history there was on him, because it was like he was never good before for some people.
After half of them people saying that, they tried to say he was better than Eze Ødegaard probably a couple of years ago.
And that was stupid.
Reactionary fans.
Yeah, I feel like we're better when Odegaard is good. And I look forward to an Arsenal with multiple creative options, not just one or the other. I think we're constantly looking for player FC conversations throughout our team, and we're not in that position. We don't have to mirror what other teams are doing, like, oh, so-and-so is so-and-so. We literally have Eze and Odegaard. Literally.
Still ain't sunk in, like I know we've obviously signed Eze, and you mentioned it there. It still ain't sunk in. Eze plays for this football club.
I know.
It probably took me a year to.
That's what it was with Rice for like a year. With
exactly,
Rice,
I just said that. Yeah, exactly. It took me a minute to really Rice plays for Arsenal now.
Exactly. So I think sometimes we can just be happy with where we're at, and let's see what happens against West Ham. But I just think that there's a new level to be unlocked with having multiple creative players out there at once. And then also Rice is starting to look like, he's coming into a bit of form,
especially Newcastle
settling in. It's looking good. We don't have problems. We don't need referendums every day. We don't have problems. We just needed Arteta to just take off or whatever, put the handbrake on.
Don't overthink the final third.
You said, do we overthink it?
No, I said just don't overthink it.
Yes, don't overthink it and just have some fun.
Exactly.
Exactly. So, yeah, I'm happy, but we'll see, because West Ham is just the stupidest game ever.
On paper,
West Ham is-
we'll get into the fixtures. We'll get into the fixtures because
Go on.
I don't want to dampen my mood, but I do want to ask you, yeah, like obviously Odegaard's form, we all can see it's been topsy-turvy. It's been stop-start this season owing to the shoulder injury. Credit where due. They do say you're only as good as your last game against
Yeah.
Newcastle and Olympiacos. He was great, yeah. But if I provide another perspective, like,
Yeah.
is it a case of Arteta's just taking the shackles off, giving him less responsibilities defensively, palmed off some others elsewhere, giving him more of a license to roam? Because for me, the most impressive thing, the first half in particular, like he's just getting into the left-hand side. The ball's coming into him from defense, immediate left foot bang, whether it's Lewis Skelly or whoever, they're on their bike. And me and you have spoken about this before, and we both said there is a part of us that feels if you put Odegaard deep or make him operate deeper, you might rob him of goals and assists, but you might give the team something greater. So is it for you? Could it be a thing where Odegaard ain't changed? Maybe Arteta's just tweaked his role a bit.
I think it's a combination of Odegaard actually being fully fit and, could be a little bit of a new hairstyle as well. I believe in hair theory, new era, new hair.
Back to basics.
Yeah. So it's a little bit of both. Because I do think you have to be fully fit and like focused and ready. Something was wrong with Odegaard last season. I don't know what the fuck was going on.
Clearly, his ankle was busted.
Yeah, I was like, something's not right. But I think with Arteta, going back to the 23-24 season, the back end of that season, it really was the case that Odegaard was so much more central. He wasn't necessarily on the left or on the right, but you think about like the pass that he made against Porto, at home in the Champions League to Trossard. You think about the pass that he put in to Havertz, against Chelsea.
Brighton for nearly a few years ago as well.
Yeah, it's when he's more central and he's not chained to the right touchline, he's so much better. And I actually think in general, if you have Eze more central, if you have Odegaard more central, and even Saka more central, you get more out of these players. And so I think Arteta deserves a lot of credit in terms of just tweaking things to allow players to get into spaces where you can see their best quality shine. But I want to see how this operates against a deep block, because I feel like that's where we'll get to see whether or not Arteta goes back to type, if we're just existing on the touchline and in the half spaces and not really getting central. Because, Newcastle, up until like the very, very end, I feel like they were a little bit more open than some other teams are with us. And then Olympiacos were just doing whatever the fuck. They weren't sitting back or anything. So we'll see. But I think Arteta did make a tweak where even think about Newcastle and how Saka was not in the right half space. He was all over the place. When we got
it was good for 40 minutes, then if I'm honest, stunk up the place, Sax, but we love you.
Yeah. Saka wasn't great, but the positions that he was picking up were different than what he usually does, which is just in the right half space. When we won the penalty, that should have been a penalty, it was Eze picking up the ball after Gabriel made the tackle on Gyokeres, hitting it into the channel. Saka was in the left half space channel, like he was on that side.
Yeah, he ran in, but and then there's a touch of fortune, and then obviously a penalty wasn't given for some weird reason.
For some reason, yeah. So
Arsenal racism, as I'm calling it.
So yeah, I think if our attackers are allowed more freedom in general, it helps. So whether that's Odegaard, Eze, or Saka, so hopefully that's how that stays. You just have to keep it up, not be scared to do that just because it's a deep block or, whatever.
So then let me ask you this then. Who's better, Eze or Odegaard? Specifically in that central role.
Man, it's tough.
Gun to your head. Champions League final. Both top form. You can only play one.
Both top form.
To be fair, we ain't even seen Eze in top form at Arsenal, but yeah.
Well, this is what I was gonna say. Unfortunately, I've never seen Eze in the same conversations as Odegaard when Odegaard is in form, to be honest. And I love Eze, but there was a period of time where Odegaard was in some very serious conversations and he was in top form. So I'm gonna have to choose but I think we should be playing both. I think our best form will be with both of them in the team at once. Arteta just needs to figure it out. But Either way, even if people feel like Eze is better, that's fine. I just happy that we have multiple options now. It was just getting really
Facts.
tiring not having more than, one person. Um, it got so nasty at one point that people were actually speaking ill of Saka and saying that he has something to worry about. And the positive side of that is that the players that we brought in have created enough headaches or have played well enough where people feel like they could potentially take these
If they
people's
haven't
spot.
risen the level, they've made sure the floor doesn't drop to a certain level, which some players
Yeah.
haven't been able to do, man.
Yeah, for sure. So, yeah, I'm excited about what we could potentially do, but right now I feel very like, whew, good to go. Let's see what happens.
You see the ball over the top that led. Well, you see when Eze pull it over the top, Saka's made a bit of a meal of it, and then Gyokeres has eventually been fouled, yeah, and the assist for Eze against Martinelli. Do you think Odegaard one has that in his locker? And if you do, why do you think we haven't seen that at any point, in my opinion, in the last at
You
least
mean
let's
the
say 2
over the
years?
top? The
Yeah,
over the
yeah, yeah,
top
yeah.
ball? I just think his skill set is just different. I think that we view every player that's a creative player as the same and they need to have the same qualities, but I think they're just completely different players. I think Odegaard is better outside of the block. I think he's somebody that has great vision from deeper positions. Um, and he's maybe not somebody that plays the over the top ball, but he keeps it ticking along. Like he's just different. And then Eze is more of your traditional number 10, which I don't think Odegaard is a traditional number 10. I think he gears more towards an 8
Mm.
at times. So does he have it in his locker? I think if Odegaard is confident, he could obviously play those same passes. Like he played a ball into the path of Gyokeres or somebody in preseason, and we scored a goal.
Try to
He
feed
can,
Gyokeres yesterday as well.
yeah,
Odegaard.
he can play those passes. Like he played Gyokeres in twice yesterday. I just think Odegaard has to get it out of his head that he cannot make a mistake and he cannot give the ball away. That trepidation, that anxiety to keep onto the ball and to not make mistakes really creeped into his game last season. And I don't know if it was a combination of I'm not fit, I'm not playing my best, I'm not feeling great, and then the team also wasn't performing good and there was lots of pressure and he just collapsed. I think he collapsed last season. So he has to always feel like he can make those passes. If they come off, they do. If they don't, they don't. But as fans, I think we prefer to see you guys try to do things than just try to keep it safe. But they're Eze and Odegaard are so different that I feel like it does them no service to constantly compare them because they're really
Creative
a
in different ways.
duo that, yeah, I feel like they're a duo that could actually exist quite well together, but they're just so different. Like because I think Madueke and Saka couldn't be any more different either, but they both play the same position. You're not always the same type of player. So yeah, but Eze has qualities that we needed. I'll say that for sure. There's qualities that he has that Odegaard does not have that we needed in this team. So we needed that signing. That signing has breathed like so much life into this team, I feel. And
Facts.
we haven't even seen, I don't even think 50% of what Eze can do.
He just started. No, nowhere
Yeah.
near 15. Like it's literally just started. And I can't wait to see when he gets up to speed tactically with what Arteta wants off the ball. Because I try and read between the lines. Arteta keeps speaking about that. Eze keeps speaking about that. And it's gonna sound mad, but I think I saw elements of that in his goal against Port Vale. But bottom line is, as you said, we can't just rely on one man for
Yeah.
creativity. That's what I want. And a hot take of mine is at some point I want to see Saka, Gyokeres, and Gabriel Jesus. But I also want to see, I don't care how Arteta does it, Miles Lewis-Skelly in that left inverted role, Eze and Odegaard both on the same pitch. If you have to move Saka to the left, you can, and just get Nwaneri in off that right. I just want to see certain things. I'm not saying that is what I want to see on a consistent basis, but yeah. But I've mentioned Nwaneri. We've got to speak about him. Like, where are you at? Because admittedly, I spoke about him with a gal. I spoke about him myself. I've tried to, I like you football. I've done all of that. But then you've got Kwame, big him up. He said, Jess, Arteta is anti-Nwaneri. It's clear. Then Neil has said, no, Ethan's going to get the folding treatment under Pep. Where are you at with Nwaneri and him being in and out the squad? And, a man's played 30 plus times last year. He's not in the squad. Merino's probably ahead of him in that kind of creative role, quote unquote. Where are you at with Ethan?
Yeah, I love Ethan so much. I think Ethan,
How can you not?
like, I know he's such an exciting player. And so like one of my things was I really didn't want anything obstructing him from getting the the time that I feel like he deserves. So, when Merino was playing in that position and, and he could have been playing there, I'm not going to lie, I wasn't feeling that at all. I get that Arteta, Merino is so much higher in Arteta's thinking than he is in ours. And I feel like that's what's frustrating about it. Is because Merino is the guy that's like, he's being used, but Ethan could be used in those positions. But yeah, I think Ethan just has to kind of wait his turn now. Like
Exactly.
I said earlier, Eze playing in midfield was going to affect him because technically it should have been his position. But now that Eze's there, he steps into that position ahead of
And
him.
Marino's there, and Kai's an option there.
And Marino's
It's the reality of a big club.
But I would say that, I feel like Arsenal fans are very sensitive to this thing. I don't know if it's just the thing, but I've
Ethan
seen
Smith Rowe is
people,
what some are calling him.
yeah, some people are saying like, oh, Arteta's ruining MLS and Ethan. And I'm like, I don't get I don't get the feeling with
Doing
Ethan
too much.
or MLS that they are like deeply unsatisfied with what's going on right now. They both had, in different ways, breakout seasons last season, played lots of minutes that they wouldn't have been playing had anybody else been fit, So I think they're now going back into the roles that they would have probably naturally had, which is uncomfortable for us because we're used to them being so much more higher on the depth chart than they are right now. But they have their whole lives ahead of them to play for this club. And there are genuine quality players ahead of them, so we just have to relax. Like with MLS and Calafiori in as an example,
And Hincapie
Calafiori,
if we ever see him.
huh?
And Hincapie if we ever see him.
Yeah, like Calafiori is like a sick player. Like he's not Cedric, he's
40
not.
million Italian international. This is serious
Yeah,
business.
exactly. I'm like, people are acting like MLS is sitting on the bench for Cedric. He's not.
Acting
So
like it's Saliba not playing when we had Socrates and Mustafi in that.
yeah, it's not that, so I just think that we need to relax and everybody's going to get their time because we will go through multiple periods in this season where the team will look completely different. The team that we're looking at now is completely different than the team that was playing just 5 games ago. When we started off the season, we were looking at Madueke in this team, and now
Good
Eze's
point.
playing in midfield and Saka's back. So there'll be a time where Ethan will play and MLS will play. But, with Ethan, I back him all the way. And I think he's quality and I love watching him play. That's probably the only thing that pissed me off about yesterday was we didn't get the goals quick enough to
So
get
then
them
he
out
comes
there.
on.
Yeah, exactly. That was probably it. But I love Ethan. I think he's going to be fine. He's going
I
to be
hope
fine.
so. We'll have to see until January. Then there might be scope for a loan or something like that. I know we need him as a body, but we might just have to say, do you know what? Go out on loan and get some football and develop. I think it might get to the point where Arteta's just going to have to say, listen, sit Ethan in the room. You've got 5 games in it. If you play well in the first game, don't get excited. Don't get down either. He's just got 5 games. But the reality is, we just need to grab 3 points. If our form's indifferent and all of this, then yeah, our claims are valid. But Odegaard's done his thing. He was on the bench against Newcastle. We wanted Eze. We can't have all the players all the time. And all of fans need to accept as well, if I'm completely honest with you, Jess, in that it's not that there's no validity, because you could have had Ethan on the bench against Newcastle. I actually believe that. And Miles Lewis-Skelly could play a bit more and all these things, but we can't cry about depth. Say we need to win games. Say we've got depth. People go as far as to say we've got the best depth in the world in the league. Everybody's a starter. And then you're crying when one of the starters is not in the squad and this is happening, especially when we win. When we win, it's calm. When we lose, then you could, or draw, then, okay, you could have brought Ethan and all of this. And what I don't want to do is get into that scenario, which to a degree, we had it to a degree with Nwaneri. We definitely had it with Miles Lewis-Skelly and people that have come through before him. I want the kids to be kids. I know they want to play. I want them to play. But you remember when Saka was here, Smith Rowe, he is here, Martinelli. We go from having them as young players to we're not going to win. We're going to lose or draw and not win if you lot don't play well. I don't really want that. And I agree with the Neil comment in relation to Pep. Completely off topic, Jess, but how many world-class players do you think we have in our team?
4.
Who are they?
And
Let me get
we have
5.
like 2. No, We have 5 world-class players and 2 borderline. That's what I was saying.
Swear, you gone for 5?
Yeah, Gabriel, Saliba, Timber,
Mm.
Declan Rice, and Saka. Those are our world-class
What?
players.
Raya?
Raya's borderline.
Huh?
I think Raya needs to be starting for his national team before we can start having those conversations.
Yeah,
He's
but
not
bro,
starting
like,
for his
I
national
hear
team.
you, Jess, but Unai Simone, like that, I don't know why he's stuck. We all know he's better than
That guy's
Unai
tragic,
Simone.
bro. But yeah, no, I get it. But Raya is a borderline for me. He's in my borderline conversation. But I think, like, without a shadow of a doubt, it's Gabriel and Saliba and Timber and Saka and Rice are world class to me.
Who's the 2 borderline? Because you said Raya. Is there another one?
I'm bringing my Odegaard conversation back to the table this season. I will. We were so close. We were so close, and then we fell away.
We need Odegaard to do his thing before we start gassing it. You need to.
I'm sorry. I'm gonna bring that. I need to bring that back to the table. I need to bring it back. Borderline. If you're playing at your best, borderline. And then Raya, and then I don't know. Like, I mean, Eze could be world class if he just plays in the right competitions and plays well. I don't know.
He needs a body of work.
Yeah, he needs to be playing in Champions League and doing the Champions League thing and all that kind of stuff. But and then Zubimendi will, let's see what happens with him, because surely, I know you're doubting him.
I'm not doubting him. I've been gassing him. I'm just fans they're killing me. I'm up to my neck in crap. Like, oh, you told me he's better than Partey and he's this and that, and I'm like, I'm still believing this stuff, but I'm dying. I'm fighting for my life, Jess. They're struggling
let's
with
just
me.
say, listen, it's your turn. It's your turn. The way last season was hell defending Odegaard. It just, sometimes you have to be on the battlegrounds. Sometimes you have to be in battlegrounds. But listen, with Zubi and Eze, I think their conversations come with a full body of work at Arsenal. Lots, like their conversations are down the line, but I think they have all the minerals to do it. They just have to put it together. But Raya,
you know what it is with Raya for me? It's like, admittedly, if you ask me the question, Timber, definitely. Rice, definitely. Gabriel Magalhaes, 1,000,000%. Saliba, the same. Saka, the same. I agree with Odegaard, Eze, Zubi. You lot need to give us something to back around that, so we'll park you lot off. With Raya, I think he's a top goalkeeper. I actually think he's kind of underrated in how the casual fan looks at him. But I don't think he's world class. But then somebody did say to me, is he a top 5 goalkeeper in the world? I don't think he's first, but I think he is. So then if you're top 5 in your position, do I really have a leg to stand on if somebody says you are world class?
Well,
I look like a bit of a donut.
Who do you think is better than him?
Courtois. I know it's not the same, but Courtois. I know Alisson's not the Alisson he used to be, but Alisson. What other keepers are there in this day and age? I wouldn't say the Barca keepers. Garcia maybe one day, but not now. Who else is there? I don't think Mike McGann's better than him. Good keeper, though. I don't think he's better than him. Donnaruma's better than him at being a traditional keeper, if I'm honest with you. Like, ball playing Raya's got that, so that's free. And I would have Raya in the top 5. There might be a one man I'm missing out. Pardon?
He's right there in that top 5.
We still saying All Black in 2024? I don't know about that.
Yeah, I'm just gonna say that, I think Raya is borderline. I think if the Spanish coach wakes up and drops Unai Simon and he does well for Spain, then we could start having those conversations. But it's just weird. He's not really starting for them, and they seem very locked in with the Simon guy. So it's like, whatever. But
to be fair, they won the Euros, innit? So he could just say, you lot are on YouTube, I'm a manager, you lot shut up.
Yep, exactly. So, but Raya, what are we going to say about him? Like, he makes so many good saves. He makes good saves. I think he gives us a level of calm. I remember people were trying to say that he was making the defense nervous, and I was like, no. There were several players in this team that used to make the team really nervous, and they don't play for this club anymore.
Thank the Lord.
Yeah, exactly. And now we're so much more calm. So yeah, I think Raya is a borderline. But I
don't know about the Calafiori shout, Marco, but go on, just.
Calafiori is a weird one, because I feel like if he was playing center back, it would be
That's what I
easier for
mean.
him. But because he's playing left back, it's harder for him to get in those combos. I feel like you can't be getting cooked every week. You know, that's just it. I was gonna ask you too, like, what are you thinking about Ben White?
You know what? Where is the tab? Because we're meant to go over all of this. Where is it? I'm so
Okay, so we
happy.
were okay. I'm
No. You started it, so yeah, we
I'm
can.
hijacking the show.
Like, no. I'm happy you mentioned it because you know I love White, but bro, and I know you're not fully fit, and it's about minutes, and Timber's above you and that. But you see this image and this one, it felt like that was all Mikel Arteta was doing all game. And I understand you're rusty, you're tired, but then I play devil's advocate. What does rustiness have to do in theory with your decision making and being in the right place? Because Arteta don't really chat to you the way he chats to you. Like, it was stinky, innit? It was. I'm not gonna write him off. We need him. Like, I think we need to show the same faith in Ben White that he's shown us, because I know the past doesn't matter, but this guy's put his body on the line year after year, and a fit and firing Ben White. Some fans were saying, "Oh, I don't know how where Timber is." Timber was even going left back. White actually starts at a lot of Premier League teams, in my opinion, but it's not looking good, man. You looked shit yesterday. Absolutely pony. A champion Timber coming on. I thought Mascara would go right back. But yeah, he was pony.
I thought Mascara would come on at right back, but you know, it ended up being the case that he came on for Gabriel anyway. But with Ben, was I sad to see him getting cooked by Podence in 2025? Yes, I was. I was deeply saddened by that realization. But, you know, Ben has been out for a long time. And one thing that I feel like people do not ever take into consideration, which I'm happy that you did in your spiel just a second ago, was he played like really injured for a long time. He
Grade
was
3
trapped
hamstring
with that
tear.
knee for a long time. And so because Tomiyasu was crocked, he had to, I won't say because, I mean, obviously he's getting paid lots of money, but risked his physical to like play for us. And he was getting cooked and things were not looking great, but he got through that season and then he finally got the surgery and then had to spend that entire season out and is just coming back in. You will never hear me say like a bad thing about Ben. Like, I'll say if his performances are good or not, but I'm sorry, but he's going to get a pass from me for a while. And I feel like, to be honest, he's a Nacho Monreal type player for us. He's probably not going to be the player knocking down the door to take Timber's spot, but he's going to be a person that you can rely upon to give you a certain
He's
level
reliable.
of
Not yesterday,
quality.
but generally.
Yeah, exactly. So it just is what it is. I love Ben down, and he was a part of a really big, like a team for us that felt really special. And so he always has like that, you know, like the nostalgia, like I'm going to give him time. But was yesterday rough? Yes.
Dark, actually.
It was.
Dark.
I was like, is that Podence? Like, I can't. Because you know what? Then Timber came straight on and like locked him up. And I was like, I feel safe.
To be fair, though, I will say this to White, because you made a good point about Podence. Yeah, like obviously it's no excuse, but for someone that's not fully fit, yeah, he is a bit of a tricky winger to play against. I'm not gonna lie, like it is a tough introduction to go get your minutes back and things, but still, I could be wrong. He played against Port Vale, innit? He did, innit?
Yeah, he did.
Yeah, he looked a bit again. I'm not saying this to knock him, but he looked a bit rusty there as well. So you're gonna have to sit down for a minute. And to be honest with you, God forbid if Timber got injured today, I am putting Mascara right back over Benjamin White. But we back him all the way, man. He might need to start actually watching football for a sec just to get back up to speed and getting the new know-how, man.
I know.
I hear you with the minutes in the leg thing, but the decision making was horrible. Like your throw-ins, your touch, everything. Like I can't.
It just was bad. It was just bad. Like that's all it was. But like again, it's Ben, and we know what it is. Like we know he hasn't played for a long time. If you were out from your job for a year, you would have forgotten how to turn on the whatever machine you be working. Like it just happens, you know. So listen, you got time. You got time with me for sure. But yeah.
This is dishonest as well. Man always say White looks rusty when someone runs around him, but people always been running around him though. Yeah, that sounds like an agenda because nobody don't really say Benjamin White's rusty.
Yeah, I mean, I feel like the thing with Ben is that there's always been an element of his game where he's not that good against fast, tricky wingers. Like
Yeah, he's shit 1v1, I'll be real.
that's just not his part of his game. It was like he's good at defending the box defending. When he's closer to the center backs, he's good. But when he gets caught on the touchline against, like, I remember Rashford used to kill him.
Son as well a few years ago, North London derby, just sits off for some reason sometimes.
Yeah, that was his thing. And, you know, we have upgraded from players like Zinchenko and Ben White to a different level of player. And I think that now what it seems like is like Timber's so great and Ben is shit. But in reality, it's just like Timber is like a world-class A level right back, and Ben White's probably like a B+. We've gotten,
some of you can't get onto Ben White because you lot tried to tell me he's even better at going forward than Timber, which I thought was nonsense.
But that was last season, because the thing is when somebody's not playing, it's easier to talk about them without having to watch them play. And a lot of what people were saying about Ben White was heavily based upon that right-hand side clicking so well in that one season. But I was like, there is no way that you guys think that Ben White is better than Timber. Genuinely. Like, there's no way. And people are like, yeah, but if we're playing better teams that have better wingers, we're going to play Timber to be more defensive. But if we're going to want to attack more, we're going to play. No, baby. There is no splitting time. This is not a splitting. It's not. It's
ain't
not
got time for that, man.
Yeah, it's not close. It's Timber. And that's it. Like, that's Timber can, you know, refine his attacking game, obviously, which I think he's done quite a bit of, like, so far this season. But the totality of his, like, level is just beyond something that Ben could do. But that doesn't mean that Ben is not good, you know? He is a very good player. He's just not as good as Timber.
It's just levels. And there's nothing wrong with that. There's literally no one better in this league than Timber at this moment in time. Big up Reece James, but that's just credit in the bank. You ain't done it for about 2, maybe 3 years. Allow it. Timber's here to take over. Talk to me about Gyokeres then, because I feel I feel he's getting better and better. But the last 2 games, yes, you've had some. We're still not creating bare clear-cut chances. And big up you for your involvement in the goal. You've had opportunities to do better. Against Olympiacos and Newcastle, I can't really do the spiel of Arteta's not getting clear-cut chances. I think you've done well, but you're the reason you ain't scored in the last 2 games. But where are we at with Mr. VG14?
Listen, I'm still, like, relaxed about it. I just think that he needs to relax. Like, relax in front of goal, buddy. Like, it's okay. You don't need a clear vision of goal. Put your foot through it. You have one of the best strikes that I've seen. You don't have to see the clear goal. Like, I feel like what happens with him is he doesn't see the clear goal in front of him because the defenders are faster here. So he tries to hold on to the ball or take an extra touch to try to get that gap.
Overthinking.
You don't need that gap. Just hit it. There's so many times where I feel like he could just hit it, like, instead of trying to get that clear cut. Like against Newcastle, he was kind of neck and neck with Chow, I think his name is. Neck and neck.
He took too many touches.
Yeah, and he got just a little bit ahead, but then he caught him up. I'm like, you just got to hit the ball. You just have to, you know. So
slightly to run against Bilbao as well, slightly.
Exactly. I think he just kind of needs to adapt to his new reality. And it's a tough reality to come to because you're playing against different types of defenders and you're playing in a completely different system. What they were playing with Sporting and what he's playing now with Arsenal is completely different. His role is different. But the things that he was meant not to be good at, he is very good at. Some of his touches have been outrageous. Some of his link-up play has been really, really good. So if he could just figure out that he doesn't need to be in front of the defender to hit the ball, he'll be fine.
Exactly. And you know what? Gyokeres, you made a good point because he just shut up a lot of YouTube and Twitter tacticals, because the one thing that actually he's not doing on a consistent basis is putting the ball in the back of the net. The one thing they had concerns are general play. It's actually good. And what I've seen with him is year in year, day in, day out in the Prem or whenever he's playing, he's getting better. He doesn't look like a stranger anymore in our 11. Like, obviously, when you've just signed for the team, you're getting to know your teammates. You're starting to gel. You're starting to link up. And it's like what Jess said. I think he's too excited. Like, there was one he blasted over. there was one time, in truth, he should have probably found Martinelli. But I understand it.
Yeah.
You've been starved. You want to shoot. And Martinelli the same. So yeah, like and Newcastle the same. I just think he just needs to do a bit better to do with what you're paid for.
Yeah.
But my only worry with him generally is just I always think with strikers, it's like you ain't scored in about 3 games. How much is that playing on your mind? And then you start doing things like you're overthinking and doing all of this stuff. But I've got no worries. And to be fair, Arteta's got no chase. But based on the comments, he's backing his guy, innit? Like he's backing him. Complete side note, yeah. But I see some of you in the chat saying Odegaard is world class and Saka isn't, or Saka's world class, but Odegaard or something. Please stop the blasphemy. You know Saka's world class. Like, just stop. Man, I'm talking about Ballon d'Or listing. Do you know how fugazi that is? Come on, please. But everyone's allowed an opinion.
Saka is world class.
Go, come on.
And the thing about Saka is, like, even when he's not playing good, he's still good to me. Like, against Newcastle, I was like, this is not good. But he probably could have gotten a goal if you know, like, I don't know. His baseline level is too good. So yeah, but Saka's not at his best. I guess, like, the positive way of thinking about things is he hasn't even really gotten into his best bag yet, and we're where we are, you know. So yeah, but Saka to me is like this weird player where even when I feel like, ooh, that was not a great performance, I'm like, you can look back at his clips and be like, this is some people's best performances, you know? Like, this, they wish they could do this, you know? Saka's world class, like, and has been for a while now.
Just allow us, man. See, even a dog don't agree with whatever you lot were saying. DG, is him playing like a hard-working striker needed or a clinical striker? I'll give that. It was almost his goal for the first one, but hey, we signed him for Ballon d'Or numbers. We need both, bro. Like, being a striker, in my opinion, in today's day and age, definitely in our system, is a tough job. You know, the wingers are the ones that really get 1v1s, and that even Odegaard, based on last year, you got to drop deep, you got to pull into the flanks, you somehow got to find your way on the end of it. What strikers, even Haaland doesn't. Yeah, Haaland's not going to be known for general play. No strikers can just stand on the centre halves now. Like, that is gone in this game. There's no fox in the box like that. You can't do it. So he's going to need to find a way to do both for me.
Well, let me ask you this. Like, in hindsight, looking at the way we've played in the last 2 games and the fact that Gyokeres hasn't scored more than 3 goals, but we look so much better no matter what, really, as long as we're playing differently. Was the biggest difference maker this summer would a striker have been a bigger difference maker, or Arteta changing his tactics slightly for us to be more attacking? Because a lot of it was like, if we just get a striker, we'll score more goals. But it really was Arteta switching things that feels like it's making us more fluid. Do you know what I mean? Like, what's the bigger change, Arteta or needing a striker?
Both, but like mainly the Arteta thing, because that's something I've been banging on about. It's like going to, well, I don't know if you look going in America, but it's like IKEA. It's like I go and buy a bed frame or a new bed. Someone's got to put it together, in it. I think it was very naive for people, bearing in mind we had all them questions about how we're attacking and all these sort of things. I think it's very naive if you thought you could get your Isaac, Sesko, Watkins, Gyokeres, this one left wing, that one, and we're clicking, because we've never, regardless of the goals and whatnot, we're not a great attacking side. We're a great defensive side. So 100% is that. Now, obviously, as Jess and you lot in the chat, or some are saying mad things about glazing Saka just for having different opinions. So I don't know if he's on what we're on, but clearly getting better players is going to help us, innit? Like, we need a clinical forward. But yeah, to answer your question, just like, yeah, because that's the things that I think us football fans, we don't look at. We don't look at people changing tactics. We don't look at like continuity with our current players. We don't look at year in year improvements. In terms of getting better, everything is just, and I'm guilty of it. We all are, like, new signings, new. And I think that's very much a symptom that Premier League fans have. So 100% to answer your question, it's like, you're going to get the tools you need to use to utilize them, innit? Is what it is.
Yeah.
Saka's world class. It's that. Sorry, my brother. Name how many. What has he done in the champs? What has he done for England in about 3 tournaments? Half of these world class players that you probably would list as world class, they haven't got those numbers. He's got more goals than certain men that are listed as world class. So we're doing the numbers thing or the eyes thing. Saka's inevitable. How many teams does he even walk into? He's top 5 in his position. We can have a difference of opinion, but this Saka slander is weird, bro. It's
Saka
weird.
slander in 2025 is so played out.
I'm not just vexed.
Can we move on to new things? You know, like Saka, it's Gabriel and Saka conversations in 2025 are so silly. Like we're so
Exactly.
beyond that now. So find something new. I feel
And how
like.
many wingers actually get 20 league goals in the Prem? Wingers, keyword wingers.
Yeah,
Wingers.
it's
Salah,
long.
cool. It's gonna awkward
Outside
now.
of Salah, it's really like,
Crazy.
look at
Can I ask you
them.
this? This was mad. Did you find this mad?
I did. There was this, and then we had like another one a couple of weeks ago
Bench.
where it was like Saka and Saliba, or Saka and Saliba and someone else, and I was just like, this is crazy right now. Like these people are not even anywhere near fit, but like the team is regular, like in full. We have never seen Hincapié really play except for those 5
So
minutes.
6 minutes. Yeah, we ain't seen him.
It's like I forget Jesus is even there, but he'll come back. Like,
We
are
miss
you
Havertz and
secretly
them.
like, are you secretly hoping like that Jesus gets another chance? Because you said like, okay, because here's what made me think of it was when Rice got that yellow card yesterday, it was because Eze fired the ball into his feet and he was actually in the striker position back to goal in that little pocket by the center backs, and he took a bad touch and then he reached and fouled the guy that took the ball off him. And I thought, if we had one player that would have dead that ball right at his feet right then and did something with it, it would have probably been Jesus. And I'm like, are we ever going to actually see it though? Like, are we actually going to see him play with like Eze per se? Like, are you hoping? Like,
My only hopes this season, Jess, is that the players stay fit. There's competition for places, and that we're able to win silverware. Jesus, in my opinion, has unique qualities that can help us through a season. Yeah, I am. I am.
Okay.
I'm trying to see him left wing. I am trying to see him left wing just for the year. Admittedly, though, he's been linked with AC Milan in January and 30 million. You've got to go and do that. But genuinely, I think we can make a meal of multiple competitions, and I think just for this year, Jesus and a couple players that I would be open to offers, you could help us. And I do want to see like what Jesus and Gyokeres could do together with Eze, because Eze and Gyokeres getting a good relationship. I don't know how many games you would see that or how many minutes, but there must be something Jesus could do for us. But as you know yourself, when is Donny going to be fit? Is Donny ever going to be fit? And if he's going to stay fit, so but it'd be a left wing thing. It'd be a left wing thing. And well, to be honest, if he was fit now, then he would ease the burden a bit on Gyokeres and I guess Merino, because we're down to our bare bones up front. But yeah, I won't hold my breath. I won't hold my breath.
For sure. And then obviously Kai will come back at one point. I feel so bad for Nani because I just really think that he was like on the edges of really like
Looking confident.
Really get going. The confidence was really there, but he'll come back in and do his thing. But yeah, that would just blew my mind because I was like, oh yeah, we have like other sick players that like are like not even there. That's crazy.
you think Jesus is sick now?
Yeah, I mean when he's actually
we're
fit.
converting just bit by bit.
When he's fit, yeah. I wish that he could be fit. I do.
That's the only thing with this guy, man. That's it. We've gone over Nwaneri. What's that? We've gone over Nwaneri, gone over White. From one Brazilian to another. Is his redemption arc happening? He got a goal and assist against Bilbao, late equalizer against City, scored against Olympiacos. That's a top 6 clash in the Premier League and 2 in the Champions League. Is he a big game player? Is he talent of the century? Is he back? Should he be starting? Where are we at with Martinelli?
So you're gonna start him against West Ham and drop Eze?
Yeah. He got me. Yeah, got me.
Okay. I didn't think
touche.
But like I said on the last week, I think that he has a really good mentality, and no matter when he's playing, he gives 110%, and he's contributing, and that's all you can really ask for,
And a mature mentality as well, because I don't know if you see like the press conferences and that, not on official Arsenal, but they keep asking him and Odegaard like, "Oh, our competition for places." Martinelli keeps giving the same example. Like, as long as it makes Arsenal better, I want to play with good players. I'm going to fight to play. I already have this for Brazil with Vinicius and Rodrigo, etc. So I don't know, man. But I think he's in the right role. Realistically, like, he just impacts up. The left-hand side, though, I think is free game because I think people are being quite hard. What do you feel about Trossard? I actually think people are being quite harsh on him. I don't think he's amazing, but I think people are doing a lot. But then we're still in that Trossard or Martinelli. Granted, Eze probably going to go out there
Yeah,
against West Ham.
Trossard was working my nerves yesterday. I thought he was almost single-handedly keeping it 1-0. I can't lie. But
second off, why would he not score?
it
Why
was like
would he
he was
not? Like,
trying
how
so
can you not
hard
score?
not to score. I was like, if you had come off the bench at halftime, you would have scored. But I don't know, because you started
trust.
and score. Like, I don't get it. But I you know, I love Trossard still.
Super
But
soft.
it just, you know, there's always got to be somebody in the team that's the enemy. You know, you got to find somebody. You know, that's who's gonna be our enemy today. And I guess yesterday it was Trossard. So I don't think he's anywhere near as bad as what people are saying he is. But
if
you know,
Eze can lock down that left hand side at least until Jan, if he's not going to play centrally, it would work wonders. Or a fit Gabriel Jesus, because I am watching that left hand side. I feel, even to be fair, like you could say, if assuming everyone's fit, Trossard, Martinelli, Eze, Madueke, Jesus, I might be missing someone else out. Nobody really screams you're the guy for 30, 35, 38 games. I might even be more open to, and I don't want to do this, and I won't say again, could Saka go on the left? That frees up something. We just have you lot swapping, because I did see that yesterday with Eze and Saka. So
I think they have the most potential right now to be a top wing pairing, at least for the short term, because they seem on the same wavelength. They can switch sides. They're both creative in their own ways. They both score goals. So they probably have the most potential, but I feel like long term, there's still something else that we could do. But right now, with the solutions that we have, that's more than good enough. Like, I'm not going to complain.
Sorry, Jess, because big up Cole Palmer. How can Cole Palmer be world class and not Saka, the man that went on that drought from January? What?
I don't know. I think that with Palmer, he has really good PR when he's not playing well.
Just shot down any logic he thought he had in this conversation. I'm not gonna lie to you.
I mean, he was saying that people were saying that he needs a major trophy. Well, I'm sorry, a Europa Conference and a Club World Cup don't.
And I'm not discrediting Palmer. He's cold.
So, you know, but Saka is. I don't know. I feel like I don't get it. Sorry. Saka is
pleasing. It doesn't move me because he doesn't do a million bullshit stepovers. But anyways, as we close up this live stream, just there's a couple things we need to go over. I don't know how we got nominated for Premier League Player of the Month. But agendas. What are you saying for Zubimendi? Like,
I mean, he scored that worldie. That's probably one of the main reasons why.
How have you managed for September? How? You're my guy, and I got agendas. My reputation's on the line because I've been gassing him. But how do we blag that?
Maybe he's been better than you think.
I think there's gears to go, man. No, do you know what? I don't think he's been bad. Like, what have you made of him so far? Like, if out of 10 so far in the all the Arsenal games, what grade would you give him? I think it's 7. 6. So you went with 7?
Yeah, 7.
I hear it. There's not too much in there. I haven't really seen him run the show as much as I think he can.
Yeah, I mean, he definitely has gears to go up. Let's see how things go, because I think in this first couple games he was a lot more vertical than in the last couple of games, and I wonder if there was a little bit of I forget what game it was, like either Leeds or Nottingham, probably Leeds, where he was trying to push the ball forward, pass the ball forward, and he's giving up the ball. And I don't know if maybe he's being a little bit more conservative, you know, trying to not give, you know, but Zubi is Zubimendi, when he's really doing his thing, is very vertical, likes to create through the lines. So we'll see, you know, but I think he's been good. He just has levels to go. I would not want you to be as good as you can be, though, in your first month. I want you to come in and then have levels to go. I just feel like most good players need time and then they get up to the speed. You know, you're not good straight out of the box. But even Declan, he was good straight out of the box, but he went up levels after that. I felt,
even he's uptaking his performance. And to be fair, Zubimendi and Rice, I don't know about you or anyone else, I still think they're getting to grips with each other's kind of way of playing or whatever.
Zubi's never played with somebody like Declan Rice before.
Yeah, it's a culture shock still. That's why I think he keeps doing the Merino Zubi thing, which, Gaffer, please, enough. please, I've seen it enough.
I can't do it. Marino I don't get it. Merino has such a clear role in this team, and we don't need to veer away from it. He's so good in that, like, come off the bench, score a goal, header role. But when he's
Simple.
playing midfield, he's killing me. He is just not the ideal. Like
It's horrible, man. Like, it's actually horrible. I'm exaggerating a bit, but it's horrible. Like he's clearly intelligent and that, but on the ball, it's uninspiring, man. Just put him in the final actions. The guy's a final action player, man. The only thing I'll give him is yesterday. I think you being out there, it kind of when you do play, it frees up Odegaard a bit because it's like Arteta's just you just do Odegaard stuff off the ball. Let the ballers be ballers. And I like Merino, but it's killing me. Just I'm not on it no more. I can't lie to you.
It's really, if you like the beautiful game, watching Merino play midfield your eyes will be bleeding. Like, genuinely, he's so slow, and he gets caught out in the Prem a lot because the teams just converge on him. But even against Olympiacos, I was like, just punch the ball forward, and he was just like turning around in a circle, go the other direction. I'm like, you're killing me, Larry. You really have to stop with this. You're killing me, man. I want to like him for what he is, just like a cool, come off the bench, cool celebration guy.
There's a role for you here.
Yeah, like if he just plays that, I'm cool. But Merino, nah, bro.
It's just time. Better as a super sub. He'll get. To be fair, he's gonna get time up front. He's gonna get time up front. Marino's the only fit striker we have that's not Gyokeres. And actually, Martinelli and Zubimendi been nominated for Goal of the Month, and Mikel Arteta has been nominated for Manager of the Month. But the last thing I wanted to ask you,
look at Declan. Sorry, that picture. He's so funny. He's so unserious. That is an unserious individual.
Did you see what he did with Max Dowman?
Yeah.
This guy's crazy, childish. He must be great to have in the squad, but he's childish.
Yeah, he's
man.
a fun guy.
He probably raises the spirits up, man.
Yeah, for sure.
I gotta ask you, yeah. I'm not reading this again because it will piss me off. Did you see the transcript around VAR and all this foolishness?
I did not see that. Ew.
Don't read it.
I don't want to.
Don't read it.
I don't understand the idea that just because you touch the ball, you did not foul the player. That's setting a precedent that I know you guys will not stick with.
Look at Pope's reaction. Not a single word of protest. He knows he's guilty. Fair play, though.
Yeah, they got away with it. And it's just, they just do nonsense with us. We have to overcome the referee, which makes it difficult. But the more we overcome the referee, the better it'll be. And I'm glad that we didn't let our emotions around that, because for a minute there, we looked like we were letting it take us over. You know, we were kind of like out of it. But we got better in the second half and relaxed a little bit. And we just have to understand, like, this stuff is always going to go against us. Like, Arsene has said it for years.
George Graham said it. Wenger said it. We can see it. We're being gaslit. It is what it is, man. I'm not even gonna. This is why I asked Jess's opinions. I don't want to even offer anything more on that. Oh, she cut out again. Or is that me? Let me make sure the Ethernet cable's plugged in. Is it me? Like, am I doing something? It was my man who's doing the Cole Palmer Saka thing. See why I don't trust black people? So you guys are Palmer over Saka. Nah, it's all love, man. Everyone's allowed an opinion. Isn't it me? Serious technical difficulties at the moment. Smash the like button, content after content. Where's this Ethernet kit? Oh my God, why is it packed into this? See, people, I'm on emergency settings for you. I'm on mad emergency settings. We're drawing for the Ethernet cable now. Isn't it me? All I want to do is talk to my YouTube friends. And I see one person's comment, oh, I would like to see you not play football so I can judge your opinions. Say what you want about DG. I'm not even gassing up my thing. Yeah. But somebody mentioned something, yeah. I don't know about anyone, and you can say one goal wonder. My thing's verified still.
Yeah, against this right back, Charlie, definitely.
Yeah, I can't verify the other content creators, but like, man, come back to the screen. There we go. There we go. There we go. I don't know what's going on with the American internet.
Sorry, it wasn't even the internet. He unplugged my freaking computer.
Big up Beckham, man. Beckham wants to go for a walk, man.
That was crazy. I was like, everything else is on but that. But yeah.
What's this? Jess would get the reference, but Merino is like the best sixth man of the year basketball term. Any winning team has one of those. He said you would
Merino's
get that.
role, as long as it's the coming off of the bench goal scorer role, is fine.
Well, I am a Sunday League player, mate, and you're on YouTube. And is that you? You look like a fat cunt, mate, whatever that is. So you know what? When I line up 5-a-side, Mr. Power, email me, call me, do something. You're coming, you're rolling. But the last question, as an Arsenal fan, do you really think Saka is better than Palmer? I think Palmer's better, like more entertaining, but Saka's body of work is better. I'm not gonna cry if you think Palmer's better than Saka. I think Palmer's a bad boy, but I don't think they're judged on certain standards. If I'm honest with Cole Palmer, it's not on him. But that whole no goal from open play in however many years, big up in months, big up Palmer. I didn't know Palmer had that. I would know 100% if it was something that applied to Saka. Fair enough. But the last question for Jess, because the dog's doing the most, to Mr. DG and Miss Jess, how do you see the way Arteta is using / rotating MLS and Cala? Initial thoughts. Go on, Jess. Ladies first.
Yeah, I thought we were talking about this kind of earlier. I just think that honestly, MLS was not looking like himself in preseason. I think if you're being totally honest with yourself, you could probably have watched MLS and thought he doesn't look fully fit. Something's not right, whatever.
I plead the fifth on that.
But Cala looked really good. And so it made sense that he started the season. And now MLS seems like a couple weeks into the season, he's looking like he's getting back to fitness or form or whatever.
They're both better than Foden. I'm going to throw it out there. Foden never did it when it matters, but go on.
Yeah. So I just think that because MLS was starting last season, people have it in their head that he was always going to be the starter. But Calafiori, if he had been fit, would have been starting. So I'm not surprised that if Cala's fit, he's starting. But, you know, MLS right now, is now starting to look like his normal self. So now probably they could swap a little bit more. But I really think people are kind of overthinking the MLS Calafiori thing just ever so slightly. But I don't know. What do you think?
I think everything you said there, I think, you know, we need to remember, like, at this point last year, I could be wrong, but Miles Lewis-Skelly probably got his first start if he started. And like you're saying, the man's played a lot of games. I think it's a compliment to Miles Lewis-Skelly that he doesn't look out of place. And I think him, Raya, and Odegaard were probably the three players I felt were head and shoulders above their teammates yesterday. They both have different qualities. As just said, he would be the starting left back had he have stayed fit. At the end of the day, when you spend 30, 40, 50 million on an Italian international, he's going to play in it. I think they've both got different qualities. Fortunately for Miles Lewis-Skelly, Calafiori ain't put a foot wrong in it. So it's your place to lose. But when you get that opportunity, go and take it. I actually think Arteta's got a decision to make. Do you go with Calafiori or do you go with Miles Lewis-Skelly for West Ham? A part of me wants to go Miles Lewis-Skelly just because of Eze and then obviously my man Odegaard. But then is it too much changes? Because if Eze goes out wide, which I expect, you're going to have Miles Lewis-Skelly. How many times have they played together? And it is harsh on Calafiori. And then we've got Hincapie. I want to stop saying Hincapie for a minute until he gets fit. But yeah, and Dharma, do your research. You cannot gas up Palmer against PSG in the Club World Cup and then completely discredit anything Saka's done. I need to stop defending Saka like he's my son, man. I need to stop. Actually, Jess, I got one last question for you. Get out of here, yeah? What do you lot in America call knockdown ginger? Because a gal called it something mad. And he's from Canada.
Ginger?
You don't know what that is?
What's
if you knock on the door and then run off. You never played that?
Oh, ding dong ditch.
All right, that's a lot better than, to be honest, I can't remember what the hell a gal said, big him up, but it was crazy. Ding dong ditch. Okay, it was a chance to ask. It's a chance to ask. But what content you got to come out?
I've never done that. But
you've never done that? You've never played knockdown ginger?
No.
So what did you do in your childhood? Like, what?
What do you mean? So I wasn't running around knocking out people's doors and running away. Like, hello?
Wow.
I would never do. I would never do something like that. No. I did throw eggs at people's houses, though. I did do that.
You see, I mean, we all did that, but that's too far, though. That's too far though. Like what? So you'd rather throw eggs than knock on the door and run?
Yeah.
It was a delinquent game. We were delinquents, mate. What do you expect us to do? There's only so long you can play football, and then you have to do some other shit. Eggs is horrible, though. At least I'm making you come out, look, and you go back in your business. Now we've got to do cleaning and that, man. Jarring. Hey, let's shooting jokes for obvious reasons, folks. It's delicate times. It's delicate times. The only shoot we want to see is Gyokeres and that. What content you got to come out today?
This was it today, doing the live shows with you and Judge Mo. Tomorrow I'll have a video out on the channel. I don't know what I'm going to talk about yet, but a video will come out. And then
So
weekend.
go and subscribe, people. And then, next Thursday we'll be back on both channels and all that good stuff. And yeah, man, unfortunately, it's international break after West Ham. Hopefully we get 3 points. The last international break, we had to sit with that sour taste in our mouth.
Sad.
It was dead. It's dead. So yeah, hopefully we win. Hopefully the international break, people score goals and stay fit. But yeah, if you haven't subscribed to Jess, I don't know what you're doing. So go and do that. We're going to let her go and enjoy her day. And we're going to enjoy our evening in the United Kingdom. Jess, it's always a pleasure. You're actually nice to talk to when you're not being horrible. You know, there's hope for you.
I know. Every once in a while, I'm nice to talk to. I know.
So yeah, man, subscribe to the platform, smash the like button, all of that. And on that occasion, people, we're out. Peace. Normally, aren't you going to go bye, guys, like you normally do on your channel? You're going to go bye, guys. Thank you. In a bit, people. Always